In a quiet little village, where the morning smelled of wet soil and hope, a young boy named Ryan began another day barefoot, but full of dreams. Every step he took on that dusty road carried a promise he made silently to his mother that one day, life would change. Inside their small mud house, his mother worked tirelessly, cooking with old utensils, wearing a smile that hid her pain. "Amy," he whispered softly, "one day, I'll build a house so big, you'll never have to work again." She smiled, because deep down, she believed him. At night, when the village slept, Ryan studied under a dim lantern. His eyes burned from exhaustion, but his heart burned brighter, with hope. One night, a storm hit. Rain poured through their leaking roof. His mother coughed, her breath weak and trembling. Ryan sat beside her, holding her hand tight. With a fragile smile, she said, "Ryan, promise me, you'll never stop trying." Tears fell from his eyes as he whispered, "I promise, Amy." The next morning, the storm was gone, but so was she. And that small house, once filled with love, now echoed only silence. Ryan packed his torn bag, held his mother's scarf close to his chest, and walked toward the city, chasing the promise he made. He had no shoes, no money, and no plan, only faith. The sun burned above him, but pain couldn't stop a boy with purpose. In the city, Ryan washed cups at a tea stall. His hands were rough, but his dreams were still soft, untouched by the noise around him. Every evening, he stared through a cafe window, watching people use computers, typing, learning, building their futures. One day, the cafe owner noticed him. "Do you want to learn?" the man asked kindly. Ryan nodded. And that single moment changed his life. At night, when the cafe closed, Ryan sat alone, learning to type, to code, to dream again. His mother's words echoed in his mind, "Never stop trying." He failed hundreds of times. But each failure made him stronger. Each night, he came back, more determined than before. Until one night, the screen flashed, website uploaded successfully. Ryan froze, tears in his eyes. His mother's promise had just come true. Days later, his free study website spread like fire. Thousands of poor students began learning online, from a boy who once had nothing. Years later, Ryan stood on a grand stage, the same hands that once washed cups now inspired millions. He said softly, "Never give up on your promise. Life listens to those who persist." He returned to his village, not as the poor boy who left, but as the man who kept his word. Children ran behind his car, cheering his name. Standing at his mother's grave, he placed a flower and whispered, "Amy, I did it." The wind felt like her blessing. Beside that very grave, Ryan built a school, the Amy Foundation, where every child could dream freely. As the sun set over the golden fields, Ryan smiled and whispered, "Patience, pain, and promises, that's how dreams are born." If you liked this story, give it a like, leave a nice comment, and tell me which story you'd like to see next. Thank you.